Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start with the new chapter of your English textbook, Honeysuckle. The name of the chapter is Desert Animals. So here, this lesson, as the name suggests, throws light upon the life of the desert animals and their very unique ways to adapt to the harsh atmosphere. So here, let's start from the first paragraph. All of you look at your textbook. Deserts are the driest places on earth and sometimes go for months or even years without rain. But even the desert animals cannot survive without water or for long periods in the scorching sun. So here the meaning of scorching is very hot, as they have had to find different ways of coping with the harsh conditions. For example, gerbils spend the hottest part of the uh, day in cool underground burrows, and strange insects called darkling beetles are experts at catching drops of moisture on their legs, then lifting them into the air until the drops trickle down into their mouths. Not all deserts are endless seas of rolling and dunes. Some are rocky or pebbly and dotted with small bushes, while others are sprinkled with colorful flowers during the spring. So here the meaning of scorching is very hot, and here gerbils means it's a mouse-like desert rodents with long hind legs, and dunes means heaps of sand formed by the wind. Pebbly means stony. So here it is said that deserts are the places which have less water and almost no rain for months together and sometimes in a year also. So therefore they are the driest places on earth. But animals who live here, it is in the desert, it is very difficult for them to, as well as to live without water for a long period of time, especially during hot days of summer. So they find their own alternate ways to beat such difficult conditions of the atmosphere. For example, here it is said gerbils go underground during hot days in their cool burrows, and darkling beetle is an insect which uses a strange way to beat the heat. They drag drops of moisture from their legs and lift them in the air and drop them into their mouth. So all the deserts are not the same hills of sand. Each has its own characteristics. Some are stony and have a rugged surface with small bushy plants. Few also have colorful flowers during the spring season. So now moving on to the next paragraph. There are more than 2,300 different kinds of snakes around the world, ranging from just 15 centimeters long to more than 11 meters. Most snakes are quite harmless, but there are a few that are so poisonous they can kill a human being with just one bite. Most snakes lay eggs, but there are many which give birth to their young. In the dry, rocky deserts of America lives a rather evil-looking snake with a very bad reputation. Its frightening rattle can be heard as far as 30 meters away, and it can strike with lightning uh, speed. So here the meaning of frightening is scaring, and rattle means sharp knocking sound. So snakes, in the second paragraph, we find that snakes are also of many types. There are about how many types of snakes? 2,300 types of snakes. They range from the smallest size, that is just 15 centimeters long, to more than 11 meters. Most of the snakes are harmless, but few are so poisonous. and that their one bite is enough to kill anyone. Now, most of them lay eggs to reproduce, but many are there who give birth to their young ones. American deserts are dry and rocky in nature. Their lives in an evil-looking snake with a very bad reputation, and one can hear its sharp sound from a distance of 30 meters. It strikes very fast with lightning speed. Moving on to the next paragraph. But the rattlesnake, or rather as it is sometimes called, prefers to avoid people if it possibly can. It holds its tail upright and rattles the end whenever it is disturbed, in the hope that the intruder will go away. However, if its warnings are ignored and it feels threatened, it will coil ready to bite. But the rattler itself cannot hear the noise its own tail makes. Like most snakes, it hears things through vibrations in the ground. If a person walks nearby, the snake can feel the movement, but if the same person were to shout, it would not hear a thing. Rattlesnakes are very common and widespread animals, living right across the American continent from Canada to Argentina. They feed on a variety of prey, including mice, voles, rats, chipmunks, and many other small animals. Rattlesnakes kill their prey with venom. Like all snakes, they swallow the unfortunate animals whole. Few snakes have to eat more than once a week, and some, such as the larger pythons, can survive for a year or more without eating. So here the meaning of voles is small plant-eating rodents. Chipmunks means small ground squirrels having light and dark stripes. And coil means to turn, to make a loop. Vibration means movement. Venom means poisonous toxin. So there is also the rattler or rattlesnake. Its choice is to avoid people as much as it can, and if it feels disturbed, it holds its tail upright and gives a sharp sound to make the intruder move away. But if its warnings are not paid attention and it feels threatened, it will turn around to bite. The strange thing is that it cannot hear the sound its tail makes. Like other snakes, it also hears through the waves produced on the ground. Means it can feel the vibration but cannot hear the sound. Snake can feel the movement of a walking person but cannot hear his voice. How loud may he shout? Rattlesnakes are commonly found in the rattlesnakes are commonly found in the American continent from Canada to Argentina. Their prey choice includes includes animals like mice, small plant-eating rodents, rats, etc. They use poisonous toxin in their body to kill its prey, the way other snakes gulp down or eat animals completely. Their eating habits also vary, and some snakes eat more than once a week, and some, like large pythons, can do without eating for a year or more. Now, mongooses like to hunt together, but they always keep a lookout for dangerous predators nearby, poking their noses into holes, overturning rocks with their paws, and scratching the ground with their sharp claws. Banded mongooses are very amusing animals to watch, a common sight in many parts of Africa. They travel in groups of about 20 to forage for beetles, millipedes, and other small creatures. Here the meaning of predator is an animal naturally preying on others, and amusing means interesting, enjoyable. Forage means search for food. Mongooses go hunting in groups. Mongooses normally go for hunting in groups. They always keep a place from where they can watch predators near them. It is interesting to watch them banded, poking their nose into holes, overturning rocks with their paws, and scratching the ground with their sharp claws. It is very common to view them traveling in groups of about 20. They travel in search of food, and their food is beetles, millipedes, and other small creatures. They like to hunt together, keeping in touch whenever they go out of sight behind rocks or bushes. By twittering and calling, always on the lookout for danger, hawks, eagles, and large snakes, they warn one another with a special alarm call if they spot anything suspicious. Here, twittering means sparrow sound, and suspicious means doubtful. So here, this creature, in fact, they move in groups to search for this creature, mongoose. They move in groups to search for their food, but if they need to move to places which are not visible, like at the back of bushes, rocks, they make sounds like twittering to stay in touch. They take extra care to keep a place from where they can watch the animals who are dangerous for them, like hawks, eagles, and large snakes. On noticing any doubtful, they make a special warning call to alert one another. Now, mongooses are famous for being able to kill snakes without getting hurt themselves. Their reactions are so fast that they can dodge each time the snake strikes. They continually make a nuisance of themselves until after a while, when the snake gets tired, they quickly dive in for the kill. So dodge means making a movement, making a movement quickly to avoid its enemy. Nuisance means annoyance. So here mongooses are known for their ability to kill snakes. They don't even get hurt while doing so. Their reactions are very fast and can move quickly after attacking the snake. They continually keep annoying the snake with their attacks until it gets tired and gets killed. All the female mongooses have their kitten at about the same time. They are raised by the whole group in a den made inside an old termite mound or hollow log. When most of the adults are out looking for food, one or two males stay behind to stand guard until the others return for the night. So here mound means heap, hollow log means a piece of wood having a hole in it. The peculiar thing about mongoose is that all the females, give birth to their babies at the same time. The babies are raised by the whole group, and they raise them in a den, means the house they have made inside an old termite mound. Termite mound means heap of mud created by termite insect, or in a hollow log. When they go out in search of food, two of the male members stay back to look after the babies and wait till the others come back. Now, another animal which lives in the desert is the camel. Camels were first domesticated by people many thousands of years ago. In the wild, camels usually live in small groups of up to 30 animals. Camels have long, saggy winter coats to keep warm and shorter, tidier coats in the summer to keep cool. A thirsty camel can drink as much as 30 gallons of water. That's about 500 full glasses in just 10 minutes. Normally, however, it gets all the moisture it needs from desert animals, desert plants, and can survive for up to 10 months without drinking any water at all. So here, domesticated means to tame, to keep at home or any other place. Saggy means covered with long, untidy hair. So here the camel is another desert animal. It was first tamed by people, was kept as a domestic animal at homes thousands of years ago. Camel have unique capacities to adjust with their atmosphere, like and in the forest they live in small groups of 30, and they have long untidy hair to use as coat to keep their body warm in winters, and this long coat falls away and gets shortened as summer approaches to keep cool. Camels can drink almost 30 gallons of water, about 500 glasses of water, whenever they are thirsty in just 10 minutes. Its body can get moisture from the desert plants and can live without drinking water for up to 10 months. There are two different kinds of camels. One, known as the dromedary, has only a single hump. The other is called a Bactrian and has two humps. The humps help the animal to survive in the desert by acting as storage containers, but they don't store water, as many people wrongly believe they are full of fat. This fat nourishes the camels when food is scarce. If they have nothing to eat for several days, their humps shrink as the fat is used up. There are many other ways in which camels are adapted to desert life. Their mouths are so tough that even a sharp thorn cannot pierce through. So here the meaning of scarce means less in quantity, pierce means to make hole into. So now we come to know that camels are of two kinds. One is called dromedary, which has a single hump, and another one is Bactrian, which has two humps. The hump is there to help the animal to survive without water in the desert. It acts as a storage container, but it doesn't store water as people think and believe. These humps are full of fat. This fat feeds the camel when food is less in quantity. When fat is used, the size of the hump becomes smaller as it is used up. Instead of food, camels use many other ways as well as to live and adjust in the desert. Their mouths are tough and hard. They can even eat thorns and they do not hurt them. So here the chapter ends. I hope the chapter is clear to you all. All of you must read the chapter once again. So we'll be discussing the question answers in our next class. That's all for today, children.